and welcome back to another video on Manav Sports Talk. In this video, this is probably one of the biggest videos I made. It's about Super Bowl 54. Finally, the Super Bowl has come, and this is going to be really fun compared to last year. Last year was like so boring. It was like 13-3. Yeah, 13-3 final score Patriots. And this year, no Patriots. Finally, I think everybody's so happy that the Patriots are not in the Super Bowl except the Patriot fans. But, I mean, who would want to see the Patriots again for like the fourth straight time? Nobody. So, yeah, thank God they're not there. And we have some new teams coming in. The 49ers, who had one of the biggest single season turnarounds in NFL history, going from like 4-12 to now 13-3. Look at that turnaround. That's so impressive. And then the Chiefs, led by the new face of the NFL, Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs, they're just the new team here. Obviously, last year they were so good. They came up kind of a bit unlucky against New England, but here they are, finally made it to the promised land, and they're in Miami. Now, the players better be careful in Miami because there are a lot of things going on in Miami. Anyway, so this is going to be a really fun game. Teams of like completely opposite styles. Like the Chiefs like to pass so much, and then the 49ers completely opposite. Run the ball. And then defensively, lots of blitzes by the Chiefs. So offensively, completely different philosophies, So it's really going to be interesting to see how they match up. And especially the Kansas City Chiefs offense versus the San Francisco 49ers defense. That's the matchup everybody's looking forward to. So let's get started with the certain characteristics of each team. So I'm going to be breaking them down by position: quarterback, skill position, offensive line, and telling you guys who has the advantage in each of them. So let's get started. The team that has the quarterback advantage is the Kansas City Chiefs. This was one of the more easiest choices to start. It's kind of obvious Patrick Mahomes is better than Jimmy G. No offense to Jimmy G, but Patrick Mahomes is on a whole different level. This guy has like playmaking and just potential we haven't seen in a really long time by an NFL player. This guy can make plays out of nothing. He can run like so far back and then come back around and throw a sidearm across his body 60 yards for a touchdown. This guy can throw no look, crossbody, sidearm, toe drag. I mean, there's plenty of things that this guy can do which no other quarterback can do. Jimmy Garoppolo, he's prone to turnovers, which is Patrick Mahomes has gotten a lot better taking care of the football this year. Not much turning over the ball for Patrick Mahomes. Meanwhile, Jimmy Garoppolo, he did throw an interception in the playoffs, and ever since then, he hasn't thrown the ball that much. So Mahomes just leading the team with his arm, and then Garoppolo, on the other hand, is basically handing the ball off. So this was easy. Patrick Mahomes, obvious choice. The team with the better offensive line is, once again, the Kansas City Chiefs. So run blocking, you might be saying, oh, look at the 49ers. They open up these big, gigantic holes where like a big monster truck could run through. But that was just the run blocking. Think about the pass blocking too. Like Jimmy Garoppolo, he's been sacked like plenty of times this year. If you look, he's like, particularly against the Rams, that's Aaron Donald. But in general, I've noticed he's gotten sacked a whole lot more than Patrick Mahomes has, even though Mahomes has held the ball longer. So that's kind of the choice you have to make here, and I'm taking the KC offensive line. And now you're saying, well, what about the Kansas City run blocking? They probably might not be that good. Well, they haven't even run that much, so, and when they run the ball, they're actually pretty decent and efficient at doing it. So, you have to take KC here on both sides. 49ers might be a bit better in run blocking, but overall, the Kansas City offensive line takes the advantage here. Look at their two tackles, Mitchell Schwartz and Eric Fisher. Really good tackles. Just a really good offensive line. Mahomes has plenty of time. Obviously, in the Super Bowl, I have to see what they do with the 49er D-line, but advantage Chiefs for this one.
Team with the best skill position players, meaning running back, tight end, wide receivers, is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Now again, it was another easy decision. I know the 49ers have plenty of weapons. Speaking of George Kittle, Curious George, I like to call him. Debo Samuel, I really like Debo. Emmanuel Sanders, the running backs. But you have to take KC. They have too many guys, too much personnel to guard. Just a track team. Mecole Hardman, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Demarcus Robinson, Damian Williams, he can blaze. I mean, man, look at this boy. And then Travis Kelce, the reliable tight end, comparable to George Kittle. So you have to take the Chiefs here. There was a debate who's better, Kittle or Kelce. Not really sure. I'm actually going to take Kittle. If you look in the playoffs, Kelce has dropped some like open passes, even though he normally catches, he just dropped it. And then Kittle is a much better run blocking tight end. So Kittle the more complete tight end, but KC the better skill positions.
Overall, the team with the better offense is, no surprise, the Kansas City Chiefs. For the defensive line advantage, we have the San Francisco 49ers finally get their first spot.
It was once again another easy decision. They've been plenty of easy decisions so far. The 49ers D-line is just way too powerful, way too talented, just an overmatch for every offensive line. They have one-on-one matchups everywhere that they can take advantage of. First-round picks everywhere. Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner, Dee Ford. I mean, Solomon Thomas. These guys just come after the quarterback like hungry, like, I don't know, monsters, dinosaurs, whatever you want to call them. These guys are just going crazy running after guys. I know the Chiefs have Frank Clark. Yeah, he's pretty good. Chris Jones, oh yeah, he's pretty good too. But 49ers D-line just too much more.
At the linebacker advantage, it's the San Francisco 49ers.
So for the linebackers, this was kind of a tough decision. But I'm gonna take the 49ers. So look at their young talent that they have in this linebacker core. I like their speed. You know, they're really fast. Their awareness has been really outstanding this year. Fred Warner, he's become the leader while Quan Alexander was out. Now Quan is back, so looking at a complete trio here. I really like all three of these guys. The third guy, Dre Greenlaw, he's made some really, really big plays in like the clutch moments, like down the stretch. They've shown their ability to pass, defend, and then run defend, also coming through the blocks. Just really like the 49ers linebackers more than the Chiefs linebackers.
At the secondary advantage, it will be the Kansas City Chiefs.
So yes, you heard it correct. I am taking the Kansas City Chiefs into secondary. Now you might be thinking, what in the world is this? How is this even possible? You must be thinking I'm being so stupid right now, but no, I'm actually thinking. Because look at these guys that they have in the secondary. And look at the way they've been playing in the playoffs and like the past few games. That's what you need to think about. And look at these guys. Tyrann Mathieu, he keeps flying around like a center fielder. Keeps making big plays everywhere. I mean, pass incompletions, run stuff. I mean, big hits. This guy is the complete like free safety that you'd want. And then Daniel Sorensen, Dirty Dan Sorensen, this guy lays the boomstick on people. Like, he lays them out. He makes some really, really clutch plays. Remember that fake punt, which he snuffed out? Yeah, this guy's really good. I really like Bashaud Breeland. You know what he did against New England? He shut down Julian Edelman. Yeah, these guys have been showing the ability to, like, stop big plays and, like, shut down receivers, kind of. I know the 49ers have Richard Sherman, who's the most experienced player probably in the Super Bowl. He's already been to 2. This is his 3rd. Now, he should be able to, like, help out the younger guys on his team and give them advice, but no offense, he's kind of slow, you know? Like, against the Packers, you saw Devontae Adams kind of run past him. Now, look at these guys. No corner can keep up with him, let alone Richard Sherman. And no offense to Sherman, he's a really, really good corner, but I feel like the speed, you know, we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Chiefs secondary. They're more younger, and they've just been playing, I think, a little bit better. I trust them a bit more.
The team with the better defense, once again, no surprise, is the San Francisco 49ers. The better special teams unit go to the Kansas City Chiefs.
So now the Chiefs special teams, they do offer some like explosiveness and some really clutch kicking, most notably by Harrison Butker, who's been really good this season. If you look fantasy wise, he's been really good fantasy wise. He hardly misses kicks. This guy drills them. He has really good leg strength. This guy's a really good kicker. I think I trust him a bit more than Robbie Gould, who came off his injury. You know, occasionally he'll miss some field goals. Look at the return that they have. Nicole Hardman. This guy's a specialist at returning. He's in the Pro Bowl for that. That's all you need to know about special teams there.
The coaching advantage goes to the Kansas City Chiefs.
So for coaching, this was a really tough decision. I mean, I had to debate it over and over in my head. Do I want to take Kyle Shanahan or Andy Reid? You know, but overall, I came to the conclusion that the Chiefs, I think they're the better coaching staff. In the Super Bowl, I think experience is going to be key. Obviously, Andy Reid, he's played in a whole lot more of these games. He's only been to one Super Bowl. I know Kyle Shanahan has been to a Super Bowl. That was like an offensive coordinator. This guy's a head coach. He's been in the big game. He's had way more experience. But most notably, the defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo. This guy shut down one of the greatest offenses in Tom Brady, you know, and Randy Moss, Wes Welker, that 16-0 team, he shut him down 2 times. I really like Steve Spagnuolo. He's been there. He's done that. So he knows what to do. I really like Steve Spagnuolo. No offense to Robert Saleh. This guy's incredible. I really like his motivation and excitedness. But I really like Kyle Shanahan. He's been really good. He sticks with the running game even though he's younger. And then Andy Reid is the opposite. Even though he's older, he wants to pass more. So it's kind of really weird to see that the younger coach wants to be more old school. And then the older coach wants to be more new school, I guess you could say. So, yeah, I'm going to have to take the Chiefs. Now, we're going to be talking about the X Factor players for the game. So I'm going to be doing 2 for each side, offense, defense. So let's start with the Chiefs. For the Chiefs offense, the X Factor is Damian Williams. Like, really be able to run the ball to support Patrick Mahomes and keep the defense honest. That's going to be so important. Otherwise, the defense is going to be dropping back every single play. And can he get some good chunks so that play action can be lethal? I mean, this guy can give Mahomes a break, can get some big, important yardage, and can score like from the 1-yard line. And that's going to be really important to see if he can do it against this 49ers D-line. The Chiefs' defensive X factor is going to be Chris Jones. This guy is going to be very important to stopping the 49ers running game. If Chris Jones can stop the 49ers running game, you're going to force the ball into the hands of Jimmy G. And that's what I think the Chiefs want to do. They don't want to let the 49ers run the ball and take time of possession away and all that stuff. So if Chris Jones can make an impact, that's going to really help the Kansas City Chiefs. Now let's move on to the X factors for the 49ers. For offense, it's going to be Emmanuel Sanders. This guy really hasn't done much because the 49ers have been running the ball. You haven't really heard of his name for the past few weeks, even months. But in this type of game where I think the 49ers are going to have to score a lot to beat the Chiefs, Jimmy G's going to have to pass, and this is his number 1 receiver, Emmanuel Sanders. If you look in the Saints game, where the 49ers scored 48 to beat them, Emmanuel Sanders is a huge part of that. He had 157 yards and 3 touchdowns. But sorry for that, I don't know what that was. But yeah, it's going to be really important to see if Emmanuel Sanders can make some plays here and there. For the defensive X factor, it's going to be Richard Sherman. Richard is going to have to find a way to shut down the speedy wide receivers of the Chiefs. Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, all that stuff I mentioned. These guys just run past everybody. Richard Sherman is going to have to use his experience to stop these guys and That's going to be a huge factor in this game. Otherwise, the Chiefs just might run away with it with these like open receivers who can just run past everybody. So Richard Sherman has to stop them.
The team whose X factors make a bigger impact is the Kansas City Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs' X factors are going to be making a bigger impact on this game. I just think Chris Jones should be able to shed some blocks. This guy was able to impact third down against the Tennessee Titans. They were able to stop Derrick Henry even without him. Now with him, they should be able to do a much better job to contain. Now with Damian Williams' speed, he can get to the outside. He can burst in the inside. He has some elusiveness, He can burst one at any time. I feel like he'll be able to provide the enough balance for KC.
Now we're going to be talking about our keys to the game.
Keys for the Chiefs are going to be number 1, start fast. They've been starting so slow. The past 2 games being down 10-0 and then 24-0 against Houston. So you need to start fast. It's going to be tough, I think, against the 49ers to come back. And then run the ball. Don't run the ball a lot because you have Mahomes, but kind of get it in there early to keep the defense honest. The second key is going to be focusing on stopping the 49ers run game with your linebackers and D-line. If they can stop the 49ers running attack, they can make a huge impact on the game and possibly win it for them, because that will force the ball into the hands of Jimmy G, who hasn't played. Who's played, but he hasn't thrown the ball that much. And I think that's the Chiefs' best chance, and that will remove the play action for the 49ers. And then the last key is use quick passes to your speedy wide receivers to get the ball out of Mahomes' hands if the pass rush is coming. So if the pass rush is coming, Mahomes just quickly get rid of the ball, to bubble screens, screen passes, quick slants, these guys. And these guys are very elusive in the open field. They can make a couple of moves and off they go for a touchdown. So I think that's going to be really important in neutralizing the 49ers pass rush. Now for the 49ers keys to the game. Allow Jimmy G to get into a rhythm so they can rely on him in the end if they need to. Because he's going to have to be in a rhythm throwing the ball over and over, I think, because they need to score a lot. So get him into a rhythm so he can be nice and smooth when they really, really need him. Now 49ers get to Mahomes with only a 4-man rush. If they can get to Mahomes only with 4, they have enough guys in pass coverage to cover up the receivers. Now that will allow them to get a sack maybe because Mahomes might hold the ball wanting a big play. So that's going to be really, really important. Now D Ford is very important to that. He makes tons of pressures with only a 4-man rush. Now the final key is guard the Chiefs receivers over the top and be physical with them, as well as keeping Mahomes in the pocket to avoid these big plays. You have to keep him in the pocket. You can't allow him to run all over the place. And then you have to be physical with these guys. The Chiefs receivers aren't very big at all. You have to be physical, push them around kind of, and guard them well enough to and eventually sack Mahomes. That wraps up our keys to the game. The key matchups in this game is going to be number 1, the 49ers offensive line versus the Chiefs defensive line. We already talked about it, how important it is for the Chiefs to get in and stop the running game of the 49ers with Chris Jones, Frank Clark, etc. And now the second matchup is going to be the 49ers secondary versus the Chiefs wide receivers. We already talked about this. Richard Sherman and company. We're going to have to slow down the speedy wide receivers, be physical, and stuff like that. Now, the third matchup is going to be the Chiefs offensive line versus the 49ers defensive line. If they can get to Mahomes, they'll completely change the game. Maybe they force a fumble on Mahomes. If they can get to him in the 4-man rush, we already talked about it. That'll be so important. So those are the 3 key matchups in this game to watch for. So overall, I think the Chiefs wide receivers and Patrick Mahomes will look to neutralize the 49ers pass rush by using quick passes to their talented and speedy, elusive wide receivers like Tyreek Hill and all those guys. They might use bubble screens, quick slants, stick routes, curl routes, any of those routes to quickly get the ball to their playmakers and just make a play in the open field. Use your juke, spins, whatever you got. And I think that'll help them neutralize the 49ers pass rush. Mahomes will have plenty of time later in the game. He'll get some big plays. Mahomes is just going to be Mahomes, do some crazy things, It's always going to be fun to watch. If you think about it, the 49ers, they have been susceptible to giving up a lot of points to like talented offensive teams like the Saints, the Seahawks, the Ravens. You know, they could give up some points, you know, here. And on the other side, I think the Chiefs D-line, they shut down Derrick Henry pretty much and forced Tannehill to throw right before, like it was just enough to stop Derrick Henry. I feel like they do similar here, forcing the ball into Jimmy G. I think Jimmy does make some plays because he is a good quarterback. But I think rustiness is going to make a problem here. Jimmy hasn't really thrown much. If you look in the NFC Championship game, then in the division round second half, he hasn't thrown much in these big playoff games and now the Super Bowl. So how is he going to fare? Really, I don't think he'd be nervous or anything, but I think he might be a little bit inaccurate here and there, you know? Just natural rustiness. And then at the end, I think it will come down to Jimmy G. Like, it won't be a lot of time, but I think it'll be enough. But I think the Chiefs' defense makes a play. Defense wins championships, like, you know the saying. So I think the Chiefs' defense makes a play. Maybe an interception, maybe a fumble. Jimmy G is prone to that kind of thing. And I think that's how the Chiefs are going to do it. Mahomes is just going to be himself. I think he's going to be the Super Bowl MVP. And yeah, Kelsey is going to be important. Travis Kelsey, the tight end. I think in short passes, you know, just the outlet receiver in the flat, Mahomes is going to look to him. And overall, I think the Chiefs receivers do get separation, all due to their speed. Mahomes, again, does himself. And yeah, Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Here's my official prediction, the one you've been waiting for.
For the final score in Super Bowl 54, I have the Kansas City Chiefs 27, the San Francisco 49ers 23. That means your Super Bowl 54 champions are the Kansas City Chiefs. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for winning Super Bowl 54.
So that wraps up my Super Bowl preview and prediction. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of long, but I had to do it for the Super Bowl, you know. In this video, I did Kobe. I had to put Kobe in here, tribute to Kobe Bryant. Yeah, and I'm wearing blue because the Super Bowl color is blue. So, yeah, it was just a really special video here. I tried to put, like, a lot of analysis and details into this. So, once again, hope you enjoyed. Be sure to put your comments in. I mean, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? What do you think of these matchups and, like, player, I don't know, what do you call it, per, like, rankings, who you think is going to be better? Just let me know what you think of that. Be sure to like and subscribe to my video. I will be coming out with NBA content after this, so be sure to keep a lookout for that. Once again, keep tuned to new videos, and thanks for watching. See you later.